6-win player last year. Jim Russell was touting that on Twitter today. And it's like, I understand that. And all those players, people that are like, I'd give up Abrams in a heartbeat for Bryan Reynolds. I understand where they're coming from, with the 6-win player and all that. He hit over 20 home runs, and he was an all-star this year. He's like a proven commodity. And people were saying, what if Abrams turns into Luis Arias again and all that? But like, Abrams is a 5-tool player, 4-tool player, and he can develop that power if he gets stronger. Like, he's ridiculously fast. He hits his worst average in minor league so far is like 296 in AA, which AA is the best talent in the minor leagues. Fast as heck. He could play, he's up the middle, can play short, can play second. He could probably play center. I think he's expressed a willingness to do that if that, ends up having to happen. But they've been playing him as a shortstop right now, but I'm not going to trade CJ Abrams, who is the one untouchable. If you had to pick one untouchable, that's the untouchable that AJ has. AJ Preller, the front office has, even over Robert Hassel III, which I'm high on as well. I don't want to give him up for Bryan Reynolds either. And you make that whole argument. You can make the argument playing devil's advocate here. Hey, Ben, don't you want to win now? Like you talk about, it's the window of contention right now, 2022, 2023, got to win right now. And I'm like, well, what I'd say to that is, are you not following the farm system? Like you don't know what you're talking about then, because Robert Hassel III, he's going to come up next season. CJ Abrams is going to come up. If all things go well, he stays healthy. He's going to come up later this season. Depending on what happens with Hosmer, he could come up before the All-Star break and be playing second base with Jake at first. He's going to come up this year. If he keeps playing well and he doesn't get hurt, he's going to impact the team this year. And he's the top prospect in the farm system. What happened with Fernando Tatis Jr.? Remember, he was an untouchable, and he was like the best prospect in the farm system. And AJ said, no one's trading for this guy. He's untouchable. And what happened? He's the best player on the team, MVP candidate, $340 million guy. He hopefully will have a statue when all things are said and done after taking the Padres to a World Series victory with him and Manny at the forefront. My point is that last number one untouchable prospect was Tatis in terms of position players, and look what he's turned into. I don't want to give up on Abrams and trade him for Bryan Reynolds when Peter Seidler, who has had the opportunity, he's had the opportunity as well, but he's had the desire. He's shown that he can spend money and is willing to go spend money. They were in on Nick Castellanos before the lockout. I'm not saying Nick Castellanos is the guy, but let's say Suzuki or Chris Bryant, someone like that. Why would you give up CJ Abrams when you can have both of them? You can have CJ Abrams, who's 21 years old, 6 years younger than Bryan Reynolds, and 6 years of control, and you can go get a power hitting outfielder without having to give up any trade value, any number one untouchable prospect. You can have the best of both worlds. You can have your cake and eat it too, as that saying goes. So I like Bryan Reynolds, but maybe if this was free agency, but it's not. It's in trade, and the Pirates are going to ask for the moon, rightfully so. He's a great player. He could be a person that they build around, but CJ Abrams is also a guy that the Padres can build around. He can be that fourth star with Jake, Fernando, and Manny. So I'm not giving up CJ when he can definitely help the team this year.